Hi, my name's Chris Caesar and I'm a landscape photographer working out of my gallery here in York. For the last few days we've been putting a few videos on the YouTube and the Instagram channel chatting about the papers by Canson Infinity range. You will find two videos on there already, a really nice smooth cotton rag paper with a matte finish called Rag Photographique and a semi-gloss Baryta type paper called Platine Fibre Rag. Check them out, they're both stunning papers and those are the two papers that I use most in my gallery. I do use all the other Canson papers that I have as well, and I'm going to chat to you today about one of the papers, this one, Baryta Prestige, and why I've used it on this particular image. And we're going to have a look at the composition of the image, and then we're going to have a chat about the paper and why I think it suits that image. Okay, so let's have a chat about the composition on this particular day. There are lots of tips and tricks that we can use when we're composing a picture, and one of the obviously well-known ones is a leading line or a leading object of some kind. And in this picture we've got a fantastic bridge that leads us right to the heart of the picture, which is the castle here at Rome. But one of the things that we can use that always seems to enhance a composition is repetition. And if you look at this image, we've got these lovely archways going down the bridge, but we've also got these archways repeated. We've got a repetition of the arches themselves, and we've got a repetition of the actual lit areas where the sun's coming through and leaving a bright area on the water. So there's quite a little bit of sort of circular repetition going on in this picture, and maybe that's why it has a striking effect, because there's a lot of contrast between lights and darks, which is another good thing if you want to put some kind of, some people say to me sometimes, your pictures look almost 3D, they look alive, and maybe it's because of the use of light and contrast. Also, if you look at this picture, there's kind of a natural vignette going on. It's not vignetted, but we've got this lovely black area here that seems to come round, and it's almost encapsulating the actual image. The rest of the image is made up of beautiful areas of light. We've got the castle here basking in sunlight. We've got little bits of light capturing different things throughout the picture. So all in all, it's a simple picture from a point of view of having a simple leading line going to our main subject. But it's quite a clever result because of the light and the way that that's playing a part and the way that it's creating these circles in the water that are echoing the circles within the bridge. So that's the picture. Okay, so let's have a little look at the paper. Why did I choose Baryta Prestige to make this image? Well, I think there are a few factors involved. Let's just have a little chat about the paper itself first. This is a paper that probably represents the culmination of lots of years of development and technological advancements within paper manufacture and the sort of techniques that they use in the Canson mill when they make these papers. It's a very heavy paper. It's 340 gram. It's got a mixture of alpha cellulose and pure cotton rag in the background, so it feels quite nice, but it feels quite firm. And don't be put off by the firmness. It comes off rolls really well too, so you can actually get a nice print off a 24-inch, 17-inch roll, and when the machine chops it, it will actually lay quite flat. So it's quite a flexible paper. It's got a slight speckle on top, which I really like. I like my sort of glossy papers to be textured in some way. I don't really like a smooth gloss, the ones that look kind of wet through. I like something to have like a traditional Baryta type look. So this one's got an exceedingly fine speckled image surface, which means that in areas where you've got sort of some rich black, some whites like this on skies or water, it will put a little bit of texture in there just to break up the flatness of that area possibly. But the thing I like about it most, and the reason I chose it for this particular image, was the high Dmax. Dmax is something that's talked about when we refer to how much black an image paper can handle. So if you go for something like this, it will let you put more black down, a richer, deeper black, than, for example, a matte cotton rag paper will. So the matte cotton rag will be very, very good, but if you really want to let those blacks sing out, then you need something with a high Dmax, and this has an exceptionally high Dmax range. So we're getting these beautiful blacks showing through, and the light areas, and there's a fantastic contrast. So that was the predominant reason why I picked it. Another reason why this paper is very, very good, and I've mentioned this before, is the level of detail. Colours are fine. Colours and depth of colour and depth of blacks and richness and brightness of whites are fantastic. But if you haven't got a paper that can show detail, then it's no good. And same vice versa. If you've got a paper that can show detail that cannot give you what you want with regard to colour and maybe the depth of black, then that's no good either. This paper has both, and it has both in spades. It's got beautiful blacks, beautiful detail, and for work where I want to show a black, there's a print hanging in room 2 in the gallery at the moment, which is a detail of a waterfall in the Yorkshire Dales, and apart from the water streaking down, which is white, there's an awful lot of dark going on. So this paper's been used and it's given a real black and white feel, which is perfect for that kind of image. So sometimes I go more subtle, like yesterday's image with the Platine, where I wanted the greys to be the star performers, and the Platine handles blacks beautifully, not quite as deep as this one, but it handles the greys exceptionally well. This one I'm using because it handles the greys well, but it's really, really good at getting down those blacks. So for striking images, I use this paper. Okay, so there you have it. I normally like to finish off these little sessions with a tip, and today, if I was going to mention something that people might benefit from remembering as they move forward with their own photography, it's the word flexibility. This is a typical example. When I arrived on this particular at this particular location on this particular day, it was early afternoon. It was my first trip to Rome, and I was rapidly running around trying to learn the river as quick as I could to look for options with sunrise and sunsets for the courses that I was hoping to run, maybe a year later. I normally go 2 or 3 times to learn an area to get to know it before I start running courses. So on this day, I was at this location when I probably wouldn't normally be there, which was early afternoon. But there was a really nice deep blue sky, and there were some wispy clouds, and there was a lot of sort of sunlight. So normally, a long time ago, I would have walked away and thought I'll come back later when the light's a bit better. But being flexible and having learned over the years about the possibilities in different lighting situations, I realised that there might be a shot on here for conversion to monochrome. So the deep blues in the sky, I knew would let me convert them to a really deep rich black. Also, the light that was a problem because it was quite bright and quite flat was also something that could be used to great advantage with these areas of light here in the water that I've mentioned earlier, and the castle itself, and this beautiful contrast between the shade. So this is an image that was made about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, that maybe 13 years ago wouldn't have been made. It would have been locked away to come back later to do something else, and I have been back and done something else. But experience has taught me to be flexible, to change the way that I work with the scene when I'm there, given the lighting conditions that exist, and try and think how that picture, how that image may become a powerful photograph one day. So with this one, it was all about the conversion to monochrome, but it's ended up with this striking result. So that's it. Next time we will have a look at maybe one more shiny paper before looking at a textured matte paper. So do check in, and remember they're all on my Instagram page. I've set up a little section called Choosing the Right Paper series, so I'm going to try and put them all in there. So far I've got one in and one that I can't get in, but I'm sure I'll work that out. And they're on the YouTube channel as well, but it's early days on that, so go steady, go easy on me. But until next time, stay safe.